making sense question. Regarding inventory, what does standard cost mean? Standard cost basically means average cost, or you create a cost that you use to allocate or calculate your cost of goods sold. So when you sell a product, sell an inventory product, you need to basically have some sort of cost that offset your revenues, so then you understand what your margins are. Basically, the easiest way to figure out your costs, or to calculate COGS, like from an accounting financial standpoint, is to use an average cost. What that basically means is you have a cost that you calculate that includes all the landed costs, or all the costs that you go to get ready for that product ready to sell. So raw materials, labor, co-pack, packaging, freight, etc. And then you come up with a dollar amount for each of your finished goods SKUs. So if you sell 5 SKUs on your website, or 5 SKUs total, then you basically, each of those SKUs, you have a specific standard cost, or i.e. average cost, right? What your cost kind of in a perfect world is. Then that cost is then used to calculate your cost of goods sold for all the sales shipped for each SKU each month. That's basically what standard cost is. Now, it's not going to be as precise as a FIFO or LIFO, or when you're actually calculating the cost of each batch of your product or lot of your product, right? And where you can implement more of an inventory system like Deer Inventory. But using standard cost for average cost is a very good manual process that gets you in a good workflow and process around understanding your inventory, understanding your cost goods sold, etc. And then what you do is, it's a cost to where you don't really want to update it every week, every month, etc. This should be something that you probably should review quarterly and just ensure, like, hey, are my costs still close? Is it still accurate? Has anything changed? Maybe increase them or decrease them based on your facts and circumstances. Or the only way that I do it more frequent than quarterly is if, like, a huge raw material like cost adjustment happens, right? Like, hey, I'm buying nuts now at $3 a pound. They just went up to $6.50. That's a material change. We need to make sure I update that, so then we have proper cost of goods sold and margins, so then I can assess my financials and my business, in an accurate manner. So hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, excuse me. So again, that's kind of what standard cost means. It's basically an average cost of your product, the landed average cost of your product ready to sell in a warehouse. Calculate the cost for each of your SKUs, and then you can use that to calculate cost of goods sold each month for the products you sell. Hope you learned a few things today. Thanks for listening and making sense.